I'm happy to share today some of the next measures that we'll be introducing to help continue to support people who are impacted by the earthquake and, importantly, their families who are here in Canada. We have implemented new measures that are going to make it easier for people who've been impacted by the earthquakes to come to Canada. In particular, we are going to priority process applications for temporary residency from people who have been impacted, specifically including family members of people who are in Canada today. We're using new technologies within our system to ensure that more of these people will be approved to come to Canada, despite the fact that there are ordinarily barriers that prevent people from around the world from coming here successfully. In addition to making it easier for people to come and be reunited with their families in Canada, we're also introducing new measures for people who are already in Canada that will make it easier for them to stay. In particular, we're going to allow people who are here in Canada to apply for extensions, cost-free, to remain in this country. We're also going to create an opportunity for people who are here temporarily to apply for open work permits that could allow them to stay for up to 3 years. We're also making it easier for people to move between temporary streams. So if you're here temporarily as a visitor, a student, or a worker, you can more easily transition to one of the other temporary streams that make it easier to remain in Canada. For permanent residency applicants who are already in our system, we're going to waive the requirement that you have passports or travel documents, recognizing that many people lost access to the documents that they had as a result of the tragedy that unfolded during the earthquake. And for citizens and permanent residents of Canada who are in the region that's been affected, we'll also be waiving fees for passports and travel documents going forward. And of course, for applications that are already in the system, we're going to continue to prioritize the applications that are within IRCC to ensure people who have an application in the system will be treated on a priority basis and have their applications expedited. First, thank you very much. And if I wasn't clear in my remarks, there's two key themes that I hope people take away from today's announcement. Certainly, there are measures to help those who are already here, but in addition, people who have been impacted will benefit from special treatment in their application to come to receive temporary protection in Canada, including the family members of people who are here. For those who apply for a temporary residency visa, we will be able to treat their TRV application with priority processing and special measures that we're implementing internal to our system to provide guidance to our officers to facilitate the approval of their cases so they can come to Canada and receive Canada's protection. What we've discovered in particular recently in response to the latest Russian invasion into Ukraine is that if we use our programs in an innovative way, we can offer temporary protection to large numbers of people who are in need of it much quicker than we could through ordinary refugee resettlement programs, for example. In addition to the measures that would have been included in some of the materials that were circulated for people who are already here, people should know that new applications to receive temporary protection through the TRV system will receive special treatment as a result of today's announcement, in addition to the measures that will support people who are already here. We're using a new strategy to help facilitate the arrival of people who find themselves in those situations who ordinarily may not be approved to come to Canada. The specific mechanism that we're using involves the use of advanced analytics within IRCC's system to identify people who have been impacted by the earthquake and to render a positive eligibility decision for a bulk group of applicants at once to allow them to be approved to come to Canada on the basis that they have been impacted by the earthquake and are seeking to come through the TRV system. I have high hopes that we will see a very high approval rate, notwithstanding the ordinary obstacles that may exist, and I will undertake to work closely with the communities represented in Canada by the associations who spoke today to ensure that the implementation goes smoothly. My expectation is that we're going to see a significant improvement compared to what the ordinary approval rate would be as a result of using positive decisions through a bulk eligibility strategy.